Dyer's Daily. If you've lived in an area for a long period of time, and I'm talking years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, sometimes up to 50, 60 years, chances are, over that time, you have seen it change. Sometimes for all recognition. New shops moving in, stuff changing hands, new things being built all the time, sometimes even things being taken down and completely forgotten about. And then one day, you're scrolling through Facebook and you see a video of a place that you go to every day, but it doesn't look like that anymore. I'm specifically referring to these amazing films that come up where, for example, I'm from Chichester, and I love seeing footage of Chichester before I was actually there. There are some amazing films out there of Chichester in the 1960s and 70s that have places that I've always heard about from elders and other people that I've known over the years, but I've never actually seen, so I get a little glimpse of it. And one thing I've noticed, and I'm referring in particular to something that I saw fairly recently of Burgess Hill, where someone shared some footage that they took in 1975-76 of parts of Burgess Hill as part of a fiction film. So it was obvious that they had the actress there, and they had the background. And of course, it's the background in this case that you're interested in. And it ran for about 2 minutes. And people were like, I need more. There needs to be more of this. And I'm just thinking, not necessarily, because we can't go back and try and get more footage, can we? Because it's gone. It's over. But what can we do as people to make sure that right now the places in which we live are documented in video, audio, or imagery? What can we do to make sure that that is documented, so that instead of just having 2 minutes from 1976, we have 25 hours, or maybe even just an hour from 2020? What can we do to make sure that that happens? Because chances are, back there, it all depended on those people that had the equipment. It was very few and far between. Now we have mobiles and tablets and cameras and bits and pieces, but we do tend to think of it as quite disposable. How many photos have you ever taken on a phone camera only to never look at them again, and then when your phone breaks down, you either lose them or you just stick them at the back of a card and never look at them again? How many of those pictures were taken in a public place? And how many of those are going to be interesting, not from you standing in the center of the frame with your friend, but the building behind you that housed the shop that used to be there for 100 years before it closed down in 2020 due to the pandemic? How many of those photos are out there? All I say really is keep a hold of them. Make sure that they're okay, and in the future, someone might see some value in it. I'm not suggesting loads of people go into a public space and start taking random photos of the place, because that wouldn't be right either. But yeah, I find it interesting, this idea of preservation, and that right now we're walking around the streets, we think, well, who'd want to remember this time? But believe me, in the future, somebody will. There's probably an unborn baby right now that in 20 years' time would love to see what the place that you live was like in 2020. Or maybe even 2021, when everyone is hopefully allowed to go out and do things. Here's to the future, eh? Right, so let's end this podcast right here. This has been the Dyer's Daily podcast. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. Also tweet me at JamieDyer89 if you have any particular suggestions, and I will see you on the next podcast, which is, tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye for now.